My name is Benton Stokes. I'm a former fundamentalist, post-evangelical worship leader, and songwriter. I enjoy wry Manhattans, roller coasters, and road trips, just not all at the same time.
I'm Elane O'Rourke, and I'm a teacher, an author, and a spiritual coach. I was a philosophy professor and a liberal pastor in a couple of former lives, and these days, I love aha moments and not-so-dry martinis.
We have conversations about life and God with a queer perspective, over cocktails, like you. This is Cocktail Theology. Okay, so today we're trying something really different.
I saw what went into it. It makes me very nervous.
Does it make you nervous?
Yes, it does. You try it first.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm trying it. It's not as bad as I was afraid it was going to be. All right, tell the people what's in it.
This is a Guinness and Bourbon smash. It has Guinness, poured over the top. It has bourbon, a little simple syrup, chocolate bitters, and Angostura bitters, and muddled raspberries. I
see where it's going, and where it's going is not bad, but I wish it would get there a little faster. The Guinness and bourbon, okay. I get that. I can see that. And I rarely say this, but I feel like it could use a little bit more sweet, like blackberry syrup or something to kind of bump the fruit a little bit. Yeah. And just add a tiny bit more sweet. Not because I want the sweet, but because I want the other flavors to come out more. Yeah. And instead, it's kind of not. None of them is quite there for me. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not bad. I mean, I'll drink it, right? It's not like some of the things that I've concocted. Usually, not you. That I've concocted. Usually, you're smart enough to throw them out before you hand them to me. But yeah, I'm not going to throw this out. But it's interesting. It is. I'm not a huge fan of Guinness.
Well, I'm not either. So that was.
It does make a darn good cake, though. Gotta say that.
It definitely does make a good chocolate cake.
And the chocolate in the stout, even if it's not a chocolate stout, the chocolate bitters make all kinds of sense to me. It just needs to kind of go there farther, I think. Okay, so not horrible. Not horrible. Yeah. So what are we talking about?
Well, the reason we're having a Guinness drink is because we're talking about third places. Historically, one of those third places is the pub, the town pub.
Oh, okay.
A third place is not home and it's not work, but it's a place where you are known.
Okay.
You are recognized.
Central perk.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It seems like people are less inclined to find a third place.
Yes.
And less inclined to nurture what that means. Because in order for it to really be a third place, you have to go there regularly enough for them to know your name, know your order. And there
for other people to recognize you.
Yes, and there are other people in there that recognize you. So historically, the pub was sort of like the town square.
Right.
It was where, people with opposing political views could show up and they could argue and debate and drink to it and leave friends. We don't have that anymore.
Right.
When I was working for Starbucks, one of the things that I was taught early on was that Starbucks wanted to be a third place. And I still work in coffee, and I think there are some of those third place attributes, but I still wouldn't say that what we're experiencing is third place at all.
Right.
I agree that it's nice to go someplace where you're recognized. I always try to remember people's names. I try to remember people's orders when I can and engage with them as a regular. But how many places are there where you can do that anymore? Right. And who's really interested in doing that so much anymore?
Right. When you said third place, I started thinking about those TV shows of the 70s and 80s and 90s, like Cheers, like Friends, where the show itself largely took place neither at a home nor at a workplace.
Right.
I would be hard pressed to think of another one of those that's more recent.
Yeah, I don't know of one right now off the top of my head either.
It strikes me, the history of the rapid expansion of churches in the late 50s through early 70s goes along with the history of suburbanization, right? A lot of churches that were built at that time were built with the thinking of them being a community center, essentially.
Right.
Right? A third place
A third place.
for a community. And if you think about the role of churches in small towns, very often people go to worship. You're expected to go to worship, but it serves as that third place.
It definitely serves as a third place, right?
And you think about all of the small towns where the church, there's always more than one, but the church is close to the city center, and that's where the potlucks are and where the big garage sales are. And so there's something else about, like the way you just described, knowing your customers' names, knowing their orders. In some ways, that's not it, right? It's not that I have a special relationship with my barista who remembers me, because that's one-on-one.
Yeah.
It is that when I walk into a space, people recognize me, they greet me. It's an extension of my home.
Yes.
Which is a little different than I have a good relationship with my barista. Or I
Yeah.
have a good relationship with my grocer who always guides me to the best fruit.
Right.
So there's something else about that, I think.
Yeah.
I have all kinds of opinions about this with absolutely no basis for them. But what's your opinion about why this has gone away?
Some of the reading that I did in getting ready for this hit on how we, as a modern society, want to optimize our time. You know, curbside delivery, drive-through at the restaurant or at the bank, ordering ahead so you can just run in and pick it up. It's like people don't linger in spaces the way they used to. You don't have to wait in line at Starbucks. Right. You can order it on your phone, run in and grab it, and leave.
Right.
You can do that where I work too. It's like, as a society, we want to maximize our time. So lingering in a place without a reason to linger at a place feels like you're wasting time.
I think that's a good point.
Because we don't value downtime the way that we used to. And when we have downtime, most of the time we're spending it by ourselves or in our tiny clusters.
Right. When I think about the TV shows that featured a third place as the primary place, this was also before anyone took a laptop to those places.
Right.
Forget cell phones. It was before people used them primarily as working spots.
Yes, that's true.
There was more head up. As soon as you start bringing people's attention down towards their tables or down towards what they're doing or down to the hands, you could see the same person every single time you go into that place and spend the next 3 hours doing your work and not even notice that you saw them every single time.
Right.
So there's also something about that in situ isolation that happens because we are engaged in other things, even though we're in the midst of other people.
Right.
That's really interesting. Gyms used to have that. I don't know if they still do. I wonder if gyms, exercise classes, those kinds of places have more of that still than some others do because A, people are engaged in activity, which makes a difference.
Yeah.
B, people tend to go at the same time every day if they go. C, even if they've got headsets on, their eyes don't tend to be down and focused. They tend to be either inward, sort of, or focused on what's going on around them. Right. So I wonder if gyms have more opportunity for that than some of the other places.
Yeah, you could be right.
One of my failings as a human being is that I don't have I don't have an appreciation for those places in the way that some people do, which added to my not being a great pastor because it wasn't for me a wonderful thing that everybody knew who I was.
Oh, yeah.
And the church I'm currently part of, there's some niceness in that people know who I am, but they don't know me at all.
No.
At all. They know what I'm good at and how I serve. But they really don't know me.
No.
Which is awesome. I'm very happy about that because I don't want them to.
Yeah.
If I wanted them to, I would hang out there more.
Right.
I would spend time at coffee hour. It would be something I would, darn it, I want to go to coffee hour.
Right.
Never have those words come out of my mouth. Not even once.
Never.
But there is that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think we lose by not having third places?
We lose connection with our neighbors.
Okay.
it adds to our feelings of isolation. Because sometimes we think we're the only person that feels a certain way or thinks a certain way. And I think when you're in communal settings, church is a good one, but also, the pub or the coffee shop or the gym or whatever, you learn that there are other people who see the world the way you do, or similarly, there are things you have in common with people, and you're not alone in the thing that you are concerned about.
Yeah.
For some people, particularly probably older than us, Facebook turned into something like that.
I think that's right.
Because you have affinity groups there, and then you have neighborhood watch groups there, and things like that, where people have certain things in common, like where they live or what they believe about anything, old cars or spaghetti or whatever. They can have a group,
I have very strong opinions about spaghetti.
I do too, as you know. So I think for some older people, not so much younger people, Facebook kind of functions that way, particularly for people who aren't really able to maybe go out and do stuff the way that they would like, I think we are by nature connective species. I think connection, or the desire for connection, is something that has sort of evolved away from us. But I think from the beginning, we were in packs and families, and there were, nuclear units, and there were, tribes and all of that. And so as we've gone along, we've lost. I mean, tribalism still exists.
But it's a different notion of tribalism, I think.
But it's a different notion of tribalism.
It's much more anthropological.
Yeah.
In that sense. I have read in one book or more, and in articles, about the phenomenon of the garage. When garages started being put in the front of houses during the big boom of the interstates and suburbs, it dramatically shifted the culture of America, because you went from a front porch culture to a backyard culture.
Yeah.
Because when the garage is in the front, then your car is the center of the community, if you will, and your enjoyment life is taken to the backyard.
Yeah.
That automatically isolated people and heightened our belief in the quote-unquote nuclear family.
Yes.
The next one of those things that did that was the proliferation of air conditioning. Because people didn't go outside to cool down.
Yeah.
They stayed inside to cool down.
Yeah.
So you start having these things that automatically focus us way more on our first place, if you will, and whoever happens to be there.
Yes.
Away from others.
Right.
I'm sure there are others that people will have come to mind, but the pandemic seems an obvious version of this.
Right.
Where, people went out of their way to create Zoom calls, to do that kind of thing in order, because they felt so isolated, right?
Right.
And we've talked before about how incredibly lucky and blessed we were to be in a household with other people.
Yes.
And even if that wasn't always fun, it meant that there was input and disagreement in the best possible way, and agreement and spontaneous dance parties and those kinds of things, so that our connectedness was heightened rather than lessened by the pandemic, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So we've had all these things that have been supposed to make our lives better, and setting aside the pandemic, the air conditioning, garages, that kind of thing. They did, but they also changed our culture to be way more inward. I noticed that in those two shows that I just mentioned, they take place in major cities.
They do.
Where people don't necessarily drive.
That's true.
They're walking to places. They're taking the subway to places, which means that third places become more important, because they're a place that is usually nearish your home.
Right.
But is in between your work and your home.
Yeah.
So you go on the way from work, for example.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, the only other one I can think of right off the top of my head would be the bar in How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
A lot of activity takes place there, too.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably the most recent of those, and that's been
a long time.
A long time. And again, major city.
Yeah. And two, I think living in New York City is just going to be a more communal experience because you're on the train. You're walking the sidewalk. It's busy. You're always around other people. Whereas if you live out in the suburbs, you get in a car, you're by yourself. You come home, you pull into the garage, you don't talk to anybody, you go inside, you're by yourself. Like, people are spending a lot of time by themselves if they're not living in a city where they're sort of forced to rub elbows with other people.
So what do we do about this? It makes me think of, there's a group called, I'm going to say it's the Offline Club, that was started in Europe, I want to say the Netherlands. There are chapters now in multiple places in the world, and people gather for the purpose of not having their phones.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so they'll gather in parks, they'll gather at restaurants, they'll gather at wherever. But it's enforced. We will engage with the people around us, or we'll be silently reading a book. But we'll be in the same place with other people without input from machinery. And it's been growing steadily, which I find interesting. And I think it's less about not being online than it is about being around people. It's like this a cappella group that I've told you about that is all drop-in. It's about singing, but it's really, most of those people are thrilled to see the other people. Yeah. That's why they're there.
That's why they're there.
Right? So I wonder whether these things naturally happen or whether we need to make an effort. Churches have tried to create this sort of feeling for a long time since we stopped having those the churches didn't work that way anymore.
Right.
Mostly failing.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is something we should actually pay attention to, or whether it's something we just go, look at that interesting phenomenon.
Right.
I don't know, thoughts? Is this something we actually need to think about, pray about, work on?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting observation to say that people aren't looking for third places so much anymore.
Or are, but don't know what that would feel like or look like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know that it's a problem that we need to fix. I think it may be just something that we are, as a culture, sort of starting to evolve away from. However, it will be interesting to see, what happens with our kids and our grandkids, how they end up connecting with each other. Because I think, ultimately, we find ways to connect with other people, but sometimes those ways aren't physical. You're not in the same space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think that you lose something, especially, I think, what's going on hyper-locally, like what's going on your street, what's going on, like our neighbor, Christina, cut my hair today. And so we were talking about the street, and it's been like since I was a kid that I was talking about what was going on our street, But it was kind of fun to talk with her and hear about her observations of what goes on the street. I think we miss out on a lot of that kind of hyper-local, just knowing what's going on with our neighbors, knowing what's going on with the school board, with the library, with our schools, whether you got a kid in there or not, we should pay attention. We lose a lot of that because we're sort of plugged into more of a global community where maybe we're tracking news around, but the places where I go to get news, they don't report on what's going on in San Jose, really.
Right. That's interesting. So the hyperlocal piece. I think the other takeaway for me in this conversation goes back to churches and parachurch organizations. Trying to build the numbers that you've got based on becoming a third place is kind of back-asswards.
Yeah, it is.
You might become a third place if you are building your numbers for the primary purpose. But if people have to travel and it's not en route to where they have to go, you're not going to be a third place. No. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Because people don't go 30 miles out of their way, or 10 miles, or even 5 miles out of their way, simply for the purpose of visiting a third place.
Right.
It's got to be in the way.
Yes.
Bye-bye, neighborhood churches.
Well, we know a lot of those are going away.
Yeah, they are. Well, this was fun.
Listeners, sorry for the downer. Listeners, we love hearing from you. Do you have a third place? Do you miss third places?
Do you revel in their loss?
Are you delighted not to ever have to see or talk to another human being? No shade, but we want to hear from you. Cocktailtheology.com is where we are. Please do give us comments, suggestions, ideas. Any of that is welcome.
Till next time.
Till next time, we're going to find another drink.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Funny how the view can change, how life just seems to rearrange itself. No matter what it was, I don't know how it goes, but look, moving on feels pretty good. Moving on feels pretty good.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and hit subscribe wherever you're listening right now. We welcome your comments, questions, and ideas for conversations and for cocktails. Please get in touch with us at our website, cocktailtheology.com. Cocktail Theology is a production of SFS. Our theme song is Moving On Feels Pretty Good, recorded by yours truly, Benton Stokes. You can find my music wherever you stream your favorite artists. Join us next Thursday for another new episode.